Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphaneme. Now, before we jump into a little bit of XRP news, Algorand news, Quant, Vechain, and there will be chapters involved. If you want to jump around chapter to chapter, feel free. But before we get into that, have you seen Quant's price exploding? Now, listen, this is nothing compared to what is to come. But just remember, back when we first started covering Quant on this channel a few months back, we were talking about Quant when it was around between $40 and $45, and within that range. People were scooping up a ton of Quant because they were just wise to do that, right? I know I definitely did. Anyway, people's gains right now are very healthy from Quant. You know, I know a lot of people probably have been taking profit. Good job on your part. Do what you have to do to make your money. Some people are going to hold, but let me tell you something. In the future, the price where it is now, and even the all-time high, what was the all-time high? $420. That's nothing, but it gives you proof. You see where the price can go. You see how easily that price can explode. Now, Quant is exploding. Well, was exploding. I don't know what it's doing this morning. It was exploding yesterday and the day before. It's doing that while the rest of the industry was going red at the time. At the chart that I was looking at, Bitcoin was red, Ethereum was red, a lot of stuff was bleeding, but Quant was still exploding. It was detaching itself from the rest of the market. That was very good to see. I would love to see that with all the coins doing their own things. They all serve a different purpose, at least the bank coins. And I think that what we witness is a little bit of a glimpse into what it's going to look like when there is a utility run. The bank coins, the utility coins will separate themselves from the rest of the crypto market. But people's gains are looking beautiful right now. They're doing very well. Yeah. So I just wanted to point that out. Now, also, let me put a little blurb in here. I often say Quant is connected to over 500 banking institutions. And even though I showed the proof of that when we covered, we did almost we dedicated like a quarter of a video to showing you the documents of SIA partners, SIA chain, the different aspects of that company and their banking connections. But some people still think we're just talking. So I'm going to put a little blurb right here. They're actually connected to, I believe it's over 520 banks. Now, you see the price of where Quant is right now. Just imagine where it's going to go if or when those 520 banks step in and begin utilizing Quant. What does it do to that price? That's why these bank coins are so delicious. Now, let's jump right into XRP here. Now, XRP. I'm hearing so much negativity about XRP and the price can't go higher than $100. There's only so many times I can hear that before I have to address why. I hate to discuss price, but because XRP has unlimited potential. If you want to be realistic, no one knows how high that price can go. It is all going to be determined by how much of the various values around the world that Ripple can actually bring in. And I believe because of their position with the central banks, because of their position with the governments, they're going to take a lot of that value. And the price of XRP is going to explode ridiculously. Now, that's going to take time. That's not going to, I don't perceive it happening all at once. I mean, you're going to have different parabolic runs, but everything happens in degrees. Now, so no, I disagree with individuals who believe XRP can't go past $100. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe, like I said, when it hits that $30 to $40 range, there's going to be struggle. Then I think it'll blow past that to $50, $60. But once you're starting to get past $50 and $60, you're getting down to the core of true believers in XRP. Most of the people that are non-believers that were holding or they purchased at the time they saw a parabolic run, or the other people who sort of believe, they've already sold. They've already sold by that time. So I think it makes a strong run. $60 to $80, I think it makes a strong run. Now, I think by that time, you're going to have more. Once we're reaching those prices, I believe by that time, more financial institutions are buying XRP and holding because they have to. That's part of the utilization of on-demand liquidity. Then on top of that, I believe the banks, because you're going to have NBFIs holding XRP as well, non-banking financial institutions. You think they're not going to want in on that? They're going to want in on all that money. They already are indicating that. You see all the articles, all the big business people, billionaires talking about it, right? And heck, you even hear them talking about regular crypto. How much more will they want in on XRP? But shh, got to keep that quiet because that's big money talk. And a lot of their friends are running banks and non-banking financial institutions, so they don't want to mess up their money. They got to keep it quiet. Shh. They don't want retail FOMOing in and messing everything up. So as they're holding it, that price is going to be stabilized. A lot more stable than what you're seeing right now. Most of retail will have sold by that time. So once we're making a run from 80 to $100, whenever that might happen, years down the road, whenever it happens, next year, years down the road, it doesn't make a difference. But once that occurs, because I believe the environment that has been built, where there's mostly large financial institutions holding XRP, I believe that there would be a strong run from $80 to $100. Yes, I do believe that. And that's not my price target or sell target. I've never put my number out there. It will blow your mind. But my number is based on calculations. What I would like for people to do is come up with their own numbers, do your own calculations, so you know where you want to sell, or you know where you believe that price can go. But let's take a look at this little tweet here. So wait, before we get into that tweet, let me throw some numbers up, give you some numbers as to why XRP is going to explode. The derivatives market, $1 quadrillion. You believe we're not going to take that in the tokenization of everything? They've already begun trying. They've already begun discussing the tokenization of everything. The derivatives market, once more, I'm going to show you little blurbs on the screen. $1 quadrillion. That's the derivatives market. B2B cross-border payments, total value, it was supposed to hit $156 trillion this year. I'm going to show you that. Debt, global debt, that will be tokenized. That's big money, by the way. A lot of people are going to make a lot of big money off of buying debt and debt that they could not access before. Global debt will be tokenized. I think that's about $303 trillion, something around there. Look at all of these trillions. They're adding up to quadrillions, even if you take a modicum of that. So you're taking a modicum of that, all of these trillions. I think even taking a modicum of that, you're starting to get towards $500 trillion. Around $300 to $500 trillion if you take a modicum of those. A respectable, reasonable modicum. So you're getting in the range of $300 to $500 trillion. Now, throw in the fact that they're on a faster payments council working with the federal government of the United States. The federal government, the Fed, is moving trillions of dollars per day. Trillions of dollars per day. They're working with Ripple already to a capacity because of the Faster Payments Council. Not only that, about 3 videos back, I showed you a clip from the article that had that showed the Fed itself praising Ripple. All right, this is when they were just getting started with the Faster Payments Council. We have 3 leaders from Ripple on the Faster Payments Council advising the Fed. We're going to make so much money. It's looking good right now. So look at all those trillions. So you have everything else put together, in my humble opinion, from my estimations, and I could be completely wrong. Make your own calculations. This is the beauty about this channel. I'm only here to bring you the information. Then you make your own decisions. Do your own calculations. If I get something wrong, if I misspeak, it doesn't even make a difference because you're doing the research. So you know for yourself. But so 300 to 500 trillion, we're floating around that range, in my humble opinion. I could be completely wrong. But then you take trillions per day that we could possibly get a piece of also, working to some capacity with the Fed. Now, that's not far-fetched. We're already hand in hand with all of the other central banks. We've done presentations for the IMF. We work hand in hand with the BIS, ECB. We're on the Digital Euro Association. We're on the Digital Pound Association. We're getting Euro trillions. My goodness, we're getting trillions from everywhere. That's why when not only myself, but any of my peers use the word trillions, when they make an XRP headline, it is factual. It's more factual than any other crypto that you could put there. And then we can show you the proof. It's just a matter of people wanting to look it up. But I think that it's just right now, I believe there's a lot of money in spreading XRP FUD. There's a lot of money in hating XRP, irrationally so. But it doesn't matter because the people are getting paid money off of it. So they're going to continue to do it. But it's harmful to a lot of individuals out there. It really is. I see people in the comment section because they read an article or some content creator said something negative about XRP. I see people saying, I'm selling all my XRP. Or they say, I sold my XRP. I've seen people lament. I go into I may check out someone's video. I go in that comment section and somebody says, bro, I sold all my XRP because of you. It's mind-blowing. I hope that they're lying. I really do. I hope that people are not that moved by other individuals' words. This is why it's important to do your own research. Know for yourself. Then if you want to sell, you can live with that decision. You don't have to come back and say, I sold because of this person. No, you take your destiny into your own hands. And also, you don't have to say, I bought because of anybody else. Particularly, I'm not here to control anyone. If you want to be realistic, if I put the light on myself, I'm not here to control anyone. I want people to make their own decisions, right? But that's not everyone. Other people, they love control. They want to control your mind. Be careful. There's a lot of like self-aggrandizing going on, but be careful. People will lead you into the darkness. Now we got that out of the way. All those quadrillions we just talked about. Now, if I put that in the title, people won't like that. Quadrillions, trillions. Yes, quadrillions and trillions. This is the big money game. We are the new authority figure. We are the new financial system, the layer that the world is going to need if it wants to survive into the future. That's what XRP is, Algorand is, XLM, Hedera. They all will play their part. And they will all go to higher prices than where they are now, but that will differ in degree depending on how much value they're going to be moving. It has to be determined by how hard the team that's behind you is working. Keep that in mind. This is why we have to also stay up to date with the teams. Now, I know a lot of information doesn't come out, but there are pockets of the years where a lot of those teams do put out a lot of information. Remember last year, Stellar was putting out a ton of information, but things have slowed down since then. And there will come a time, once again, everything moves in cycles where information will be heavy again. Just as an example, Cello, same thing. Hedera, Algorand, they all have these time periods where they release a lot of information and then it slows down a little bit. That's just life. You have your summers and you have your falls. You have your springs and you have your winters. You just have to be patient and realize that there's a balance to everything. And then polarize yourself to the energy and mind state that you want to be in, that keeps you afloat and keeps you hungry, keeps you ambitious, and then you can make it to that next cycle that's beneficial to you. But here's this little tweet, all of that, and then we get to this little tweet here. It says, while the weekly active weekend crypto market is not spoiling investors with events, the fun this August Saturday is brought by Ripple CTO and proclaimed architect of all project infrastructure, David Schwartz. So there was something about license plates with XRP on it. I think this is in Connecticut. Yes, it says Twitter post this morning with Connecticut's XRP.XLM license plates, right? So, David Schwartz is a real competitor. Most brilliant individuals, I've encountered this throughout my life. Most brilliant individuals are highly competitive, but there's a balance. Like, they're highly competitive, but they also like to work with you also. They have both sides of the extreme, but they definitely want to show that they are the brightest, the best. They work the hardest. The product is the best. They are willing to compete. That's what you want in your team. David Schwartz is no different. I remember being on, debate panels. At the time they placed me in the intellectually gifted program and all of that stuff like that. And they send you away to on these different projects to debate against other schools and such like that. And let me tell you, look, we could have all just given our ideas, right? So you're sitting at the table, and what the schools, the principals and these different companies that will come out there and sit in the audience, all established people, they want to hear what you think on certain topics, right? That's really what it is. It's not really a debate. But once you sat everyone down at that table, all of these children from different schools and different regions and different states at that one table, ooh, it was a war. Intellectual people, they like to compete. I know that they teach you that. It's like the opposite in society. They try to make you think that intellectual people are not competitive. No, they are super competitive. Anyway, But see, I share these stories with you, but at least over time, you're learning who Alpha Neem is. You're learning a lot about me. So I'm not a stranger to you coming here telling you trying to, trying to learn a little bit of, gather a little bit of research from a stranger. I'm not really a stranger anymore, am I? You've been learning a lot about me over this last year and some months. Okay, so let's go here. And this is also in relation to the XRPL. So this is horrifying, right? I want everyone to be careful with this. So here's a tweet from NFT Master, which is obviously is built on XRPL, and it says, "We have been less active on Twitter, but super active with development. Location-based NFTs have arrived at NFT Master. Mint an NFT with longitude and latitude coordinates and view it on the map. Listen, be careful." This is also very good if you want to make a lot of money. Let's say you can mint an NFT at the Eiffel Tower, so to speak, right? As an example. And then verify that that information is legit, that it was minted at the Eiffel Tower. Then you can sell that because it's very rare and unique. Or just as an example, or you went to the Grand Canyon or the Coral Castle or somewhere, some unique places like that, and you minted NFT there on your phone, and you can prove that it was minted there with longitude and latitude, right? So yeah, it can be very good in that way to make a lot of money. But, and be very careful, mi gente, be careful, because some people will make a mistake. They're going to be tired, and they're going to mint a location-based NFT at their house. Listen. You don't want a bunch of strangers knocking on your doors at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's going to be a little strange. There's some people out there, they're not doing well. Don't do that. Don't mint location-based NFTs. And if you're going to be minting NFTs, and I don't know if they're going to make this like something that's available for all NFTs in the future. So in the future time, when you're minting NFTs, just make sure they're not location-based NFTs and it's putting out your home address. That will be the concern here. So just be careful and use this the right way. That's what I would say. I mean, hey, you can do whatever you want. This is not life advice, not financial advice. Do whatever you want. But I would be careful with this. So let's move on to Algorand here. Listen, Algorand is dominating when it comes to music. Absolutely dominated. I think they're going to take a huge piece of the music industry. It's decentralized. Artists are going to get paid more money. They're going to be in control of their licensing, in control of what's the other? There's some other stuff I can't think of. There's a whole lot that goes on in the music industry. But all of this, what Algorand is doing is putting the power in the hands of artists. They will be fully in control now. They loved it when you could go independent in the legacy system music industry. They love that. If they love that, they're going to definitely fall. They're going to experience true love when it comes to decentralized music products like this here. Algorand recently, over the last few days, made a few tweets about Dequency, decentralized music platform. Also Napster, LimeWire. Do you see it all coming together? That's billions of dollars on the table waiting to be scooped up. Do you remember how loved LimeWire was? Do you remember how loved Napster is? Look, and Dequency, I think, is going to slide right in the slot of where those things used to be as we're coming more into a Web3 environment. That Web3 is going to be huge. I saw a billionaire speaking the other day. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he was warning people Web3 is going to dominate, and it is going to be what, if people are wise, of course, it's what's going to make people the most money ever. A great wealth transfer for those who are wise enough to be able to know how to utilize this particular new system. And this is what I've been saying for so long. It's not just a new financial system. It's a new world system overall. It will affect everything. Algorand also, the other day, that video I released the other day, it was speaking about how Algorand is getting into the medical industry. Do you believe it's going to stop there? There's no way I believe that. Everything that we see is just the beginning. And all of these companies have ideas to expand outwardly, exponentially. There's a lot of money in that medical industry. And you know what? The medical industry has been losing a lot of money. We're going to help them save money. Guess what? They lose stuff all the time out the hospital. Things are stolen. Now they can have traceability in those hospitals on Algorand. All right? There's a lot of debate over pay and things like that, where the certain payments go. Well, you can track the payments now, and everyone can view them legally on Algorand. Payroll will roll across Algorand. People in the medical industry get paid a pretty good amount of money. Imagine that value moving across Algorand. I see it outwardly expanding into that because we've already had the precedent set of payroll that we're doing for governments in El Salvador. When they're setting up infrastructure right now for payroll, they're not using Bitcoin. Their Bitcoin is flowing across Algorand. Everything is moving across Algorand, so the precedent has already been set and anybody can research that. Algorand is what moves El Salvador, and a lot of other places are already setting up infrastructure as well. So we're going to take those billions, in my humble opinion, off the table. We're already starting. And Algorand is second to none when it comes to advertising, especially in this bear market. We've had legendary music industry individuals endorse Algorand and release some of their NFTs on Algorand. Remember that? We have premier racing leagues on Algorand. We have alternative racing leagues like Drone League on Algorand. We've had the Australia Zoo advertise for Algorand. We have one of the biggest airports in Texas advertise for Algorand. We've had a giant billboard in Times Square advertising for Algorand. There is no one right now doing better advertisement than Algorand. Don't get me wrong. Hedera is coming up. Hedera is on our tail. Not that it matters. I'm deep in both. I win no matter who who does well. So I have a vested interest to hope that all of them do well. All of the bank coins. I'm only deep with the bank coins. When the bull market comes back in, I might dabble here and there in a quick money play, but you're not going to hear about that because when I've always seen by the time you do a quick money play and you come back and make a video, it takes a long time to make a video. By the way, this stuff is not easy. It takes a long time. By the time I get through editing and uploading this video, that quick money play is already tanking. It already reached its peak. It makes no sense, in my humble opinion, to talk about quick money plays because it just sets people up to try to jump in and then they're going to get sold on. So that's why I don't talk about quick money plays. So I think long money plays are more logical to speak on. Just my humble opinion, just my way. But Algorand is going to dominate. That price is going to explode. I'm very happy to be a supporter of Algorand and Algo long into the future. And I actually love their company. And I love that their people at their company have so much respect and love. If you are a part of the Algorand community, I like that as well. I like that. I like to be shown respect. I try to show everyone else respect. And that's another reason why they're so successful and they're beloved by multiple presidents across the world. They're loved by esteemed institutions. MIT loves Algorand. They're working with MIT right now. Yale. I think that was Algorand. We did the last video that I did. Check that video out if you haven't. Algorand's working with Yale now. All of the top individuals in the world, well, not all, but you get how I speak. I speak in a particular way. But most of the high-level individuals in the world respect and love Algorand. We are going places. Now, let's go here. We got to just have a little bit on Quant. Show you the little blurb there in the beginning when I spoke about Quant. I'll show you it here. 520 banks are standing or waiting on the sidelines when they jump in. Imagine what's going to happen to that Quant price. Do you think it's going to be hard for Quant to reach $1,000? This is a bloody bear market, and we have jumped from $42, $43, all the way up to the peak of what I saw yesterday was $125. Look at those gains. Do you think it's going to be difficult when, and that's for retail, do you think it's going to be difficult when banks step in? 520 banks. For Quant to shatter $1,000? Can you, and that's a conservative number. And so there's only 13 million Quant. Can you imagine where that price can go? It almost made me drool a little bit. I had to suck back some spit. Oh, Alpha Neem, that's too, come on, man. Don't say spit on the air. That's too nasty. This is what somebody out there is thinking. My apologies. But it can go much higher than $1,000. It has a lower circulating supply than Bitcoin. Do I have to continue to say this? But it has the most utility. They link the legacy system with the new financial system without bridges. I want to repeat that, without bridges. Why is that important? We read documents recently. I post them on the members only community tab. That's why it's important to read these things. You'll know why that money is coming. You would know why Quant is exploding right now. We'll see how long that's sustained. I don't expect it to be sustained, but I hope it will be. But we will see. But we read that some of the central banks don't like bridge systems because they get hacked. That's where I got that thinking from. It's from the reading that I've done. Almost all of the things that I say come from the reading and the research that I've done. PDFs and transcripts and speeches that I also have provided to the members only section. So they know. They know a lot more than. Here's the scariest part. The people in the members only section, the subscribers, and I won't even say the members only section, the subscribers on this channel are some of the most brilliant people in the world. They know more than I do. They've been doing very well as also, man, you know, not just monetarily, but mentally, developing mental toughness, physical fitness. These subscribers are doing a great job. I'm very proud of everybody out there. They're exercising every day. They're taking vitamins. They're drinking enough water. They are reading. They are meditating, you know, or a combination of different things. But these subscribers are strong. I'm very proud to be able to come in front of them. I am 100%. These are some great people. I appreciate everyone letting me know updates from time to time. And let me tell you something else. We have subscribers here of all age ranges and from everywhere around the world. And they are doing wonderful around the world. I'm very happy to have people like you, you know, existing and knowing that you're out there, knowing that you're building a great life for yourself. You're changing your life, or you're improving it, others' lives, and improving the world. You are the real heroes in my book. I hope you never forget that. And that's from the bottom of my heart. Now, let's move on here. We're going to end it off with a little bit of Vechain. My goodness, Vechain is a beast. It is so potent. They have so many large partnerships, and they're just beginning. They're just setting up infrastructure. Can you imagine when everything is up and running, where the price of Vechain is going to go? Let's read this little tidbit here from the Vechain Foundation. It says, our blockchain was built to be a sustainable, scalable, and quickly deployable platform packed with unique features. POA, proof of authority, sees Vechain have the most advanced consensus mechanism on the market, solving the problems of the two most common types. Veet is the future of crypto. And then they have a nice little diagram here, but I want to get to this part here. Remember what I was saying, and I'm going to continue to say, Vechain has access to money that the rest of the world, the rest of the crypto sphere does not. They can access money in Europe, Africa, United States, Central and South America. The world is open to Vechain. But they also are accessing the money in China. There is so much value in China. Ooh, and they've been building infrastructures in China. Whereas China doesn't like. They don't want other cryptos there. But Vechain is welcome there. Vechain stands to scrape up so much money. It is mind-blowing. But let's just read this here. They have something else. They've been partnering with designer brands all over the world. It says on July 1st, oh, my 31st, sorry about that. July 31st, Vechain was invited to attend Gong Xiaoshan's brand conference. So far, all Gong Xiaoshan products have adopted Vechain blockchain technology to achieve origin traceability. Traceability is going to be huge. This is why all the bank coins are trying to get involved with traceability. You have XRP doing some things with traceability. They just seem like they're just getting started out with that. Like, it doesn't seem like they're going too heavy, but you never know behind the scenes. Algorand is heavy with traceability via Koi banks. Okay, so you have that. And of course, Vechain, it's not a bank coin, but it's one of the best utility coins on the planet. Hands down, no debate. Traceability is going to be huge because we can no longer afford, in a world that's going into a global recession. I think that if they can't get this under control, and based upon what I've seen from the Fed now coming out, the United States government coming out with another stimulus bill that if it's passed, well, it's not going to go to the people, but it's going to go to other things. But they're printing more money already. How can you get out of a recession if you're constantly printing money? That means you're going to arrive at the same point once again. It's either that or you're going to have to get extremely aggressive with rate hikes to cancel out the balance or the lack thereof, right? You're going to have to do that in order to save your economy while you continue to print excess money. So anyway, because of that, I think that we could go past a recession into a depression. So I feel if it's going to last years and years and there's going to be massive job losses, so depression. Your GDP is going down. This is depression, in my humble opinion, if it's going on for years. And you have everyone saying that this could last for years. I hope that it doesn't. I particularly not one who wants to suffer. Like, we want to do well. But because of that, no one wants to lose money. So, but in order to save some money, one of the ways to do that is to make sure none of your products are getting stolen. None of your products are leaving your warehouse without your authorization. You know where they're all going. You know that they were delivered. You know when the product was made, especially if it's food or something time sensitive. You know when it's going to go bad. Everything can be sheared up. I think like 98%. But about now you can do 98% better. You know, and then you know who to hold accountable. If something does go wrong, you know who to hold accountable, and you can get rid of that particular problem so that now you never have to worry about that monetary loss ever again in the future. And that in itself will save you a ton of money. That's why traceability is so important. So now, now that we're getting a little long into the video, I don't want to keep you here too long. Appreciate every single one of you out there. Keep doing well. And you definitely brighten my day by coming here, spending a moment with me, leaving comments, clicking the like button. Listen, I appreciate it more than you could ever know. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.